All right, wonderful.
Okay, dear introverts, today we are talking with another dear introverted person. I hope that I'm not wrong. So, Quadri, welcome and thank you so much for saying yes with a loud voice to my proposal.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here to share my thoughts.
Okay, so tell us about you. Who are you and where do you come from?
My name is Quadri. I'm originally Nigerian. I find myself working around the world, and then I end up in the United States. My first job when I started working, I volunteer with an organization. It's a non-government organization. Especially when you come from Africa, there's not a lot of resources for you for leadership development, which I believe the same in like a place like Romania as well, which resources are very limited. But as a young talent, you have to look for that resources, right? Just for you to be a better version of yourself. So I started joining this organization, a non-governmental organization that actually prepared me for the job I'm doing right now. So I started working in my university as a recruiter. I became the founder of this organization as well in my university. And then I get promoted to the national level. And then I get promoted to Europe, which is in Estonia. Estonia is part of the Baltic state of the country, right? So I started working. I know a lot of people was like, "Oh my God, this organization is just a volunteer job. Why are you doing it?" But I know exactly what the main purpose, right? I believe that when you can do something for free, when you get paid for it, you will do it well. That is my belief. That's my philosophy, and that is the reason why going through that journey. One of the things that really connect me a lot to, actually to Romania, I used to have a regional manager. Her name is Adelina. She's from Romania. And I remember she's very strict. And I'm like, oh my God, who is this girl? But one thing I like about her leadership is she's very consistent. And then she actually showed a good example of a leader. She always anticipates our needs. She's always, getting us prepared. She's always focusing on our strength instead of our weaknesses. So that is why that journey take me from that other side of being a volunteer in a global youth organization now as a recruiter. I started working as an HR for a very long time, starting from a volunteer and now get paid as a recruiter with one of the luxury property in United States. And I recruit most majorly internationals, and then I would say 75% of my recruitment are international, and why the other 30 are domestic, which is Americans. So I've been happy to to bring in my journey working with a global volunteering organization to become working with a luxury property in hospitality.
Wow, this is an amazing story. And I have to tell you, I have told you before, but I have to say it again that when you came to Romania and you discussed with me in the coffee shop, I was having a very bad day. And you somehow noticed it that I needed to talk with someone. And 3 hours and a half later, we were still talking and talking and talking like two puppets, because we have that connection of the emotional thoughts, the life perspective, and it was, I don't know how to say, mind blowing, life changing for me. It was amazing, and I have this self esteem and this self trust right now, and a big part is from you. So I have to thank you one more time.
Oh, thank you so much. And I would say, being an individual, talented individuals, we are each other's strength, right? And we can figure it out when we met each other. Like, oh my God, this person has something unique, right? And I can figure it out just by seeing you. I was like, oh my, you're very organized. I met you in the coffee shop. You're packing your stuff. You're setting up. I was like, wow, I would like to understand a thought process. How does she think? How does she prepare herself? Working in a space where it's not even a corporate space, it's a coffee shop. And then talking to you, it's a learning process for me as well, right? There are things that you've known, you've done. You just need somebody to acknowledge that, oh my God, you're saying the right thing. Oh my God, whatever you're telling me is right. And I'm happy that you'll be able to share that, acknowledge all my instincts about leadership. Thank you so much as well from your side.
Yeah, for me, it's always inspiring and motivating to talk with like-minded people. So it was a very pleasant meeting right there. And this is why I'm doing this podcast, because I'm trying to offer the introverted audience some examples, some real life stories, and some encouragement that they can do it too. Because I couldn't talk in public like 2 years ago, and now I'm doing this. How
Oh,
nice is this?
that is wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing those thoughts with, with the masses.
Yeah, so I'm trying to understand the introverts better. So I would like to hear your introverted story. How was life for you until now?
Most especially when I find myself. So I have two sides of my personalities. Whenever I'm in a social gathering, I see myself as extrovert, but when I'm in a very my professional space, I see myself as an introvert. I try to, as much as possible, um, to keep things very calm, to be able to like engage with people in my own way, because I know there's different people with different personalities, right? I don't know if you believe in what we call temperament. We have four types of temperament. We have melancholy, we have sanguine, we have cholerics, and we have phlegmatic. So I would say I am melancholy sanguine. So what does melancholy mean? Melancholy means somebody that is very highly intelligent, highly observant. They always pay attention to little details. And then when it comes to sanguines, are people that they're very energetic in every motions. Like, oh my God, they're jumping up everywhere you see them. And we have choleric. They're very high-tempered. They're also a good leader. They're very good project manager because they're going to make sure everything is done correctly. They're very high-tempered. They're very strict, which you meet those people in your day-to-day life, and that doesn't mean they're bad people. They just don't want a mistake. They want to be perfect, right? And then we have what we call the phlegmatic, which you're very calm, you're very, very strategic. You're thinking. You're very peaceful in your mind. Whenever you meet people, you don't like to argue, even though you have your thoughts. You don't want to keep it to yourself because you don't want to step on boundaries. So this temperament is something that it developed in different ways, either through our parents or we develop when we are in the environment we grew up. So for me, being in that side, I'd be able to like channel those behavior when I meet people. I want to know exactly what to say, how to engage with them. So these have been helping me exactly to like identify exactly what are my introversion behavior in different setting, in different social spaces, right? We have a corporate social spaces, which I know exactly how to what kind of a personality that I should portray when I'm there. And then we have the social gathering, which is very casual. I know exactly how to present myself in that manner as well. So it's based on where I find myself. I'll be able to like channel my energy based on the needs of the environment.
Yeah, this is very useful also in personal life, I think.
Absolutely.
Okay, and what are some advantages and some disadvantages of the introversion? How you see the situation?
I would say something. Everything in life cannot be perfect, right? That's why we're human being. You have some advantages. What are the advantages in life of being an introversion person? The advantages is you are you are able to like take your time to think through things. And disadvantages, you don't even take your time, you just want to jump into it. You just want to jump into it. And then so the advantages there is, taking your time in doing things, and then sometimes are not taking your time because you think, okay, I already know it. And then things changes all the time. So the advantages and disadvantages come in based on different setting, different environments. Yeah.
Okay, this is a nice perspective. And I'm very happy because every person that I invite has another perspective, you know? Because in my mind, I was thinking, what I'm thinking is the only way. There is no way. Everyone thinks in a varied mode, and it's nice that we have some diversity.
Oh, absolutely. When it comes to thought processing, one thing I learned in working with the global spaces is we have a different nationalities with a different culture and a different environmental factors. So we have a different thought process, right? The way we think is different. Somebody that grew up in United States thinking is going to be different from somebody that grew up in Europe, in any part of Europe, or in eastern part of Europe, right? Or somebody that grew up in Africa. So what makes you unique is being in the same room and sharing different thoughts and taking your time to process those thoughts, right? In my own way, how did I process thoughts? Is by questioning you, asking more questions. I'm not angry with you. I'm not aggressive. It's just like I want to be sure. I'm curious, right? It's thought of the curiosity that want me to ask more questions. So advantage of humankind is what makes the world a perfect place, right? Especially in the group, and that's what makes most projects more successful.
Yeah, it's nice that if you say this about asking questions, you're acting some way like a coach, right?
I wouldn't say that I'm a coach, right? I just said I believe it. To be honest with you, I believe in zodiac signs, which I was
Yeah.
said I'm a Pisces, so part of my trade is really we have different type of we have February, we have March. Being a March Pisces is being empathetic, highly empathetic, and then very curious. Like, okay, what is going on? What is she thinking? Why did she want to do it? Why did he want to do it? Why did you know? So those behavior is just part of my zodiac sign. So I wouldn't because being a coach is mean you have to be certified, right? When the word where certification is the key, you cannot name yourself something that you've not getting criticized by different people, and people have already called you that, like say, okay, of course, at work, I can say I can call myself a mentor, right? In a working environment, because I have to mentor a different entry level employee. But call yourself a coach in a work gathering or in an external spaces like this. I think it would sound like, oh my God, are you sure? Are you certified? So I don't want to lead anybody wrong. Being a coach, it means you have to go through a different process and get certified and be criticized by other people to think, okay, you qualify to call yourself a coach, right? So right now I'm not, but in the future I will be.
Okay, thank you so much for the detailed perspective. So I have one curiosity. If an introvert can be a successful person in whatever domain he she wants, what are the abilities that helps him her to achieve this?
One of the weaknesses of an introvert, I will ask you this question: what do you think one of the behavior an introvert showcase when you see them? Just tell me one that you noticed.
Ability to listen.
Absolutely, that's the advantage. What is the disadvantage?
They don't take the mic too often.
They don't express themselves, correct?
Exactly.
Absolutely. So, if I want to answer to your question, I would say always speak your mind. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid of failure. Why being an introverted? Why you want to be quiet? You want to keep to yourself? Is because you're scared of will they come out wrong? Am I going to hurt somebody? That mindset that is kicking in your just say it. You can go back and apologize, right? Failing is part of life. Don't be afraid of failure. What makes extroverted people more successful is because of their risk taker. They just say it, they just go for it. Even though sometimes you can see in their data analytics, the way they're analyzing something is absolutely wrong, but the confidence they put in it, it makes it look like, oh my God, this is perfect actually. I think you're right. But when you go deeper into the data analysis, you're like, oh my God, that person is wrong. But being an introverted person, you already analyze a lot. So that lot of analysis make you not to be able to like empower other people because you don't want to make mistake. Just say it, right? It's better for you to say it. And I will tell you something. Being an introvert, I think that you don't say so, you always say something based on your thought process, right? You always think through it before you say it. So one thing I will encourage to focus on is like always Take chances, take risks. Don't be afraid, because that risk you take, that's what develop you. Even though you know you are intro. That's why I said in a social gathering, people always see me as an extrovert. I would say in the social space, but I work in a working space when I'm being extremely melancholy in my behavior and I'm observing the room, I'm very quiet. I will just be very quiet. And I'm reading every inch details. Like after the meeting, you call me, what did you observe? My book will be full of different data because that is the time that I don't want to make mistake, right? So one thing is take risk. Don't be afraid. Say the way you feel. If you make mistake, you will learn from it. If you say it right, other people will benefit from it because it's something that is part of you because you think through before you say something.
Yeah, this is an amazing answer, so thank you. Okay, so one more thing that you want to add for our introverted audience?
One more thing I will add for your introverted audience, I would say being an introverted individual, earlier as I said, take risk. Be 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 curious because curiosity is the key. Don't be afraid of curiosity because curiosity is the one that actually lead you. And then you are so magical, you're so special because people will always look down on you, I think, as if you don't have what it takes to be in that space. But the smart one in the room will approach you because they know you have more data. There's a proverb in my country, Nigeria, that says, whenever you walk into the room, the ones that doesn't make noise, that is the one you should go to because that's the one that has more knowledge of the space. The one that is talking all day long because he's already speaking it all. So you should not go through it because you already see who that person is. So once in a while, the introverted side part of you, there's always calm, always find the right time to express your feelings, and then that will be absolutely helpful to whoever is around you or to any environment you find yourself, because life is short, right? Let's take advantage of the environment and have fun.
Wow, this is an amazing advice. I was thinking that one introverted person will find another introverted person and they will chat like extroverts, you know?
Absolutely, that is the way it works, right? You see, we attract our kind of personality most time, even though people think it's not. But that's what happened, though, right? We attract people that are very talented. There's something you can see in them. Like when I saw you that, I know there's a lot you have to share, and I'm always in that thought as well. I'm like, oh my God, I would love to talk to this person. I would really, really want to engage. And I was talking to you, and it was I would say one of my best trip in Bucharest. I would say that for sure. It's one of my best trip because I were able to go deeper into different subjects. I was able to create different solution to those conversations we had in the coffee shop. So thank you for sharing those your talented mind and then things that you want to bring to the young people in your country as well for sharing those with me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, so the my motto is come back to Romania because we have a lot to talk about actually.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll be happy to. I'll be happy to. Yeah, I'll be very, very happy to. But just like my timing is always off. But one day I'll take you off of there. I will definitely love to.
Okay, I can't wait for that day, and maybe we will talk like 20 years from now, and we'll say, "Do you remember the first time we met?"
Absolutely. That is, the storytelling. That is part of the success, right? We're talking about the success story. It's good. It's good to share that. It's good.
Yeah, and I find it amazing to keep contact with the people that saw potential in you when even you didn't see potential. It's very interesting to see the adaptation and the self-help and everything that you did in the process among the years. It's very important for me to keep in contact with the people for that first inspired and motivated me.
Oh, that's wonderful. The best learner are people that see themselves in other people. That is my philosophy. I believe that you can see that if you can see yourself or you can see something you can learn in people. When I met you, one thing I really like is you're very observant, right? And I learned that because you're looking and you're taking your time to talk, right? That is one of the learning that I learned from you. So when you're talking to people, you're not just talking. In hospitality, we call it golden nuggets. Is a way where you're collecting information, and then when you're home, you take your time and evaluate that information and say, "Wow, I learned a lot from that conversation," right? So it's not you just talking, but you have to be mutual. So talking to you, it might seem that you're learning from me, but I'm also learning from you when you're talking, right? So I was collecting a golden nugget. So I'm happy I collected it in the right timing.
Wow, this is an amazing advice. Actually, every time I'm talking in English, I'm taking a lot of time to think, to put the grammar where it should be, to not make mistakes, and to be empathetic and nice and polite, because our Romanian culture
Absolutely.
is politeness and being welcoming with the foreigners. So I want to make you feel comfortable and to feel open to talk with me, because I'm not judging. I'm just curious about your culture.
Oh, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. To be honest with you, I would say any language is all about confidence, right? I'm not like I speak French, but I always speak French when there's something I want to take in return, right? If I want to talk to you in French and there's something I really really need from you, my French vocabulary comes in place, right? So sometimes confidence and know exactly what you want to take out of that conversation. Never like now we're enjoying our conversation, right? And I feel like in any communication style, in any languages, is the confidence that actually showcases itself. Because nobody's perfect, though. I'm sure if somebody audits your word in Romania, they'll say, "Oh my God, she make mistakes. She's used the wrong word." But do you know why they wouldn't say that? Is because when you're saying it, there's a level of confidence in the way you express yourself. So they won't even think of the mistake you're making. They'll just focus on the content you're sharing. So confidence is the key in every languages, and I'm very happy that whenever I go somewhere, I want to be sure that I'm comfortable in my environment, so that when I'm saying something, I'm very confident saying it. So comfort is everything, which lead to confidence to me.
Wow, this is an amazing piece of advice. So I will re-listen this material because I want to absorb everything that you're saying. So I will not take more of your time. Thank you so much for everything. And if you want to say something more, this is the final mic offer.
Oh no, nothing to say much. I'll just say thank you so much for the invite. I really appreciate being here, and thanks to everyone listening. I believe one day every introverted individuals we discover something new in them because it's a lesson. We're all learning. That's why we're all born to this earth, right? So nobody is perfect. Just have that back of your mind. So thank you all, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the brilliant conversation. And for my dear introverts, have a lovely day and see you soon.